Welcome to World Action and Reaction News. Please press subscribe button and press bell icon if you are new to the channel. Let's start news snapshot. State-owned defense manufacturer Hindustan Aeronautics Ltd is looking to significantly increase the involvement of private companies in manufacturing Tejas combat jets, even as readies for an additional order for about 200 units of the latest Tejas model, government officials said. Hindustan Aeronautics Ltd has already roped in private players including L&T to make key components for 123 Tejas Mark I and 1A light combat aircraft that it is building for Indian Air Force. With the private sector participation, HAL's per-year production capacity of Tejas is expected to scale up to 24, officials said. Out of 123 combat jets the company is making for IAF, 40 are Mark I version and the remaining 83 are Mark 1A version. In the case of the 83 Tejas Mark 1A jets, HAL intends to make use of L&T's capabilities for making wings of the aircraft, while Dynamatic Technologies Ltd is expected to make the front fuselage, or main body, VEM Technologies the center fuselage, and Alpha Doka would make the rear fuselage, officials said. We have placed orders for the 83 Tejas with these firms, who will make the parts, and if they are successful the parts will be integrated, one of the sources said. HAL will work with the private sector to make components for the 40 Mark I jets as well. This will ensure that the private sector becomes Tier 1 suppliers and can ramp up their supply chain, the person said. HAL is also looking at bringing the private sector to work on Tejas Mark II version. This will be a game changer for the private sector. In this, HAL is looking at being a systems integrator, while the private firms will be the manufacturers. This will increase production, one of the sources said. India's latest communication satellite GSLV-6A was on March 29 launched on board geosynchronous rocket GSLV F-08 from the spaceport at Sriharikota and successfully placed in the designated orbit, in yet another achievement for the ISRO. The geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, GSLV F-08, fitted with indigenously developed cryogenic third stage, injected the satellite into orbit about 18 minutes after its liftoff from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. The satellite would provide a thrust to mobile communication through multi-beam coverage facility, the Indian Space Research Organisation said. ISRO Chairman K. Sivan described the mission as a success and congratulated the scientists behind the mission. Mr. Sivan said the communication satellite was successfully placed in the designated orbit. This marks the 12th flight of geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV F-08 and 6th flight with indigenous cryogenic upper stage. GS-6A is similar to GS-6, a high-power S-band communication satellite built on I-2K satellite bus with a mission life of about 10 years, the ISRO said. The drill for the rapid transfer of troops from one valley to another to prevent a sudden invasion by the enemy troops along the borders or to meet the need for sending immediate reinforcements is likely to be carried out in the high mountain locations of Darasuo and Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand, government sources told Mail Today. The Air Force would be conducting these operations during the forthcoming Pan-India War Game exercise Gagan Shakti, to be held from April 8. Where the Air Force would be mobilizing almost its entire fleet of combat and transport aircraft along with the helicopters and all the ground-based assets. They said the war games for rapid force deployment would be carried out using the Mi-17V5 helicopters and the C-130J Super Hercules Special Operations aircraft, which can take off and land from very small runways, the sources said. In Doklam, after India raised objections over the construction of road from Doklam to the Yomphri Ridge in Bhutan citing security reasons, the Chinese activated their troops all along the line of actual control, after which India had to deploy more troops in the Ladakh region to prevent any misadventure by the adversary in the recent times. The Chinese have also activated their troops in the border shared by it in Uttarakhand, as there have been many instances of transgressions and airspace violation by their choppers. Sources said the drills would help the forces to be better prepared for tackling similar situations in the future. During the drills, the Air Force would also be carrying out drills to land and take off its fighter planes such as the Su-30 MKI and the rest of the fleet from the new advanced landing grounds prepared by the force in Arunachal Pradesh and other areas in the northeastern states. The mega exercise, which is expected to continue for more than a week, will see the use of the Air Force Special Forces Garrets to carry out sabotage operations beyond the enemy lines and also in tasks to protect its own bases, the sources said. Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday said she cannot reveal the price of the Rafale fighter jets in the interest of national security. Sitharaman's remark comes after Congress President Rahul Gandhi's asked the government to reveal the amount, alleging irregularities in the deal for 36 fighter jets from France. Rahul Gandhi is searching for ammunition against the government but hasn't found anything. So he's fishing, Sitharaman said at the India Economic Conclave here organized by Times Network. Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday said she cannot reveal the price of the Rafale fighter jets in the interest of national security. Sitharaman's remark comes after Congress President Rahul Gandhi's asked the government to reveal the amount, alleging irregularities in the deal for 36 fighter jets from France. Rahul Gandhi is searching for ammunition against the government but hasn't found anything. So he's fishing, Sitharaman said at the India Economic Conclave here organized by Times Network.